Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today we are back at the Fontaine Research Institute because last time we got started at the Fontaine Research Institute Chronicles. So we met up with this guy named Mr. Nacker, who was the researcher who worked under Edwin Eastinghouse, who was the researcher who was experimenting with the Archeum energy and made the entire place blow up and the research center go all the way up here on all of these water blocks. And so it appears our task is to survey the area right now and see if there's any safe way we can bring all of this down, because as beautiful as this entire structure is, as lovely as it looks, it's really aesthetically pleasing, except for the fact that I still wonder why they're all in cube shapes and not circles. They are a hazard, obviously. You have all this stuff unpredictably floating in the air, and it would be nice to bring it down safely and securely if possible. So I believe that is what we are doing today. And I already unlocked the teleport waypoint at the top there, but the question is, do we want to use that or do we want to walk all the way up there? And the answer is I'm going to walk all the way up there. And by walk, I mean swim. Because you know what, that is actually the really cool part about this, is like, these are all bodies of water you can enter. And like this. Whee! Okay, now we cannot fall down is the big thing. If you fall out the edge, you can try to get back in. If you fall at the bottom, it is quite dangerous. You don't really want to be doing that. But yeah, this is one of the coolest parts to me. We're basically flying in the air, in the water. And that is just such an amazing... This entire place is... it's just amazing. I definitely think this is one of my favorite areas in the game so far. In terms of, it just looks beautiful, and I really find like this whole concept of like the science and the magic kind of mixing together just a really cool subject of this storyline here. I mean, that's the thing, is the Archeum energy, I guess we just go in here. Is it more magic or science? Because if so, I mean, this is just unlimited energy you're talking about here. That would be great. If only we could use the energy like that. Move it around with the cameras and the batteries so easily, you know. All of these things. But at the same time, it did cause this massive disaster. And as nice as this disaster looks, it does sound like a huge amount of people got hurt. Where even worse. So we don't really want that happening. Especially not in an uncontrolled manner. Like it appeared to here. But that's why we're here to deal with it, right? Now let's see. We are here in the central laboratory ruins. Slimes. Hello, slimes. Are they just like in the water? They probably got sent up here and they can't go down. That's right! Last time I was using ether, I was trying to push, and I was trying to push the slimes off and see if they could die by fall damage. I don't think I could. That's right, we encountered this thing last time when I came up here for the first time, and this thing wouldn't move. It was just like the experimental field generator from down at the ground, but it wouldn't move. But now I see. This is what they want to use to see if they can safely bring all of these floating structures down. What's this large plate? That's the experimental field generator that Mr. Edwin developed. Huh? Didn't it already blow up? It looks perfectly fine now. The thing that exploded wasn't this machine, but the Archeum ore that powers its core driver, the Archeum Kinetic core. This thing, will it suddenly start moving by itself? Relax. This big guy can't move now that it's lost its power supply. But didn't Raimundo say that we need to use it to make the ruins descend? If it can't move... Only a part of it will be activated. The tri-state Archeum can only support its operation at half speed, but that should be enough to relieve the abnormal gravity state the central laboratory ruins are in. Paimon doesn't understand that at all. well, we're trying to use this thing to restabilize the gravity and stuff, right? What do you need us to do? Please follow me. The place where we will need to work is in the back. Miss Crony, please stay here. Some areas in the back contain institute secrets, and you're not allowed to have any exposure to them. I can see that back of yours from here. What secrets could be hidden inside? I have no idea either. That's why you're definitely not allowed inside. What nonsense! Anyway, please wait here. If you take photos randomly, you might capture something related to Institute secrets. For example, the formula for the sugar-free berry-flavored Fanta. This new Fanta product is quite important to the Institute. I think you're more likely to get her to stop if you tell her she's going to be prosecuted for this. Because she's kind of tabloid. Like, she's going to go to whatever lengths she needs to tell what she believes is the complete story. And the fact that she gets to be up here to document stuff for us, which is great. I mean, she is here to help us document what happens. But, like, if you tell someone not to do something, that just makes them want to do it more. I think you need to tell her more about the consequences rather than piquing her curiosity, because I think that she's going to follow us in. If you leak any information of it to the outside world, you'll need to undergo a 1-month confidential investigation and must report to the Maison Gestion and at the Palais Marmonia 3 times every day and be questioned. There you go. That's more like it. Of course, you'll need to stop your journalistic work. Oh, there you go. Don't worry, even if I get taken away by the Palais Marmonia for questioning, it'll only be because I've uncovered the secret you're hiding. I won't let myself be forced to stop working for a reason as absurd as leaking some Fanta formula. I admire your work ethic. I hope everything goes well with photo taking. You know what? I almost think he does want her to follow us in. It's like, don't say I didn't warn you. For legal reasons, I can't let you in. On second thought, maybe he wants her to go in because he's almost making it too appealing to follow us into here. To the point that I think this is all part of his plan. Let's go. There's still work for us to do. I mean, I'm just saying, you know what? He probably wants her to follow us, just in case something bad happens, right? Huh? What was Knacker doing? That being said, this is probably as dangerous as he's making it out to be. So I would be careful if I were you. There's a Hydroculus here. Where? I thought I came up here and we spent a huge amount of time trying to get all of them.
There is no escape.
Hit them from every direction.
Wretched vermin.
All going to take damage from Nahida's camera. Sometimes I really don't get why the Institute had to design the support Clockwork Mecha to look like humans. Right? Oh my gosh, I say that all the time. Just from the perspective of supporting research, hands and feet are far worse than tracking in multifunctional Clockwork Mecha apertures. That is, oh my gosh, do you know how many times I've said this in this game? Why does all the stuff have to look humanoid? But I don't think it's because the designers thought that things looking humanoid is cool. I think there's a reason why, like a story reason in the game, why all the technology from like Conria and Fontaine has to look humanoid. I mean, it looks like the Desert Dwellers really had the right idea with their robots kind of looking more the polygon shapes and stuff like that. Because, yeah, once again, I say it too many times, the Roomba example. The Roomba is a lot more efficient than us humans with holding a vacuum cleaner. That's why vacuum cleaners that are robots don't look like humans holding vacuum cleaners. It looks like a little disc that can just, slide across the floor. Because why would you waste the energy of the hands and limbs? And same with these Clockwork Mecha. You could just make them like little like cannons or something. I can't think of it like examples right off the bat, but there's got to be ways that are more efficient to design like basically combat robots without having essentially the clunkiness of the human form with our hands and legs and joints and all these extra mechanical parts you need to make it look like humans. But I'm sure there's a reason for it. But thank you, finally the first character in this game to validate what I've been saying this entire time, which is yes, exactly, questioning why they all have to look like humans. Which is probably the fault of some researcher in the past. Like I said, story reason, not like design in general kind of reasons kind of thing. Anyway, what's this rock? Oh, this is the archeum that supplies energy to the experimental field generator. What restrains it is the energy supply device created by Mr. Edwin. See this here? This circuit connects to the generator. Of all the inert archeum we found, this one was the best in the terms of purity and stability. And then boom, it went. That came down to Mr. Edwin. I trust that this wasn't the cause, or at least it shouldn't take all the blame.
Whoa, it's not gonna blow up again, is it?
When that happens, I'm gonna need you to take us to the skies, Paimon. Let's jump into the water. No, Paimon, you gotta fly us down.
Paimon doesn't have super strength, but if it really does blow up, then Paimon can give it a shot.
Don't worry. Now that Mr. Edwin's not around, we're completely safe. Alright, I'm about to use Raimondo's catalyst to transform this archeum into tri-state archeum and activate that big fellow outside. Then these ruins should be able to safely land on the ground. Could you please help me take some photos in the area? I need to use them as evidence for my work record. Didn't you just say taking photos wasn't allowed? Oh, it's fine. These will be used for reference in the Institute and won't be distributed. Yeah, we're working here, so we already signed the confidentiality agreement. So all the materials we collect is just going back to the Institute. Unless you secretly keep a few for yourself, which I trust you won't do. Wink, wink. Dude, I swear, like, he didn't say it, but I think he knows that we're gonna break the rules. I've already been through here and took a bunch of pictures. Oh, right, and when you're taking your photos, please look for Miss Crony while doing so. I've got no idea where she's run off to, or where she's hiding. I really don't want to start the generator only to suddenly find a lady tossed into midair. I know, right? Wow. Look at this thing. I wish magic energy was real. Like this is like virtually unlimited energy running at nearly 100% efficiency. Like, at least I assume, actually, we don't know if it's nearly 100% efficiency, but when you have pretty much unlimited energy, and it really isn't going to run out at all, I suppose, the efficiency is actually, well, it depends. I wouldn't say it's less of a worry, but it's more like, okay, if you have something with really low efficiency, like an incandescent light bulb, all of that energy is going into heat. You don't really want that in the case of, like, say, that kind of efficiency on the experimental field generator, because it would probably start a fire. So you probably want a higher efficiency, but you're not thinking so much about wasting energy when the waste product is, say, like, just energy dissipated into water because the archeum is, like, water-based energy, right? So you're not really worrying too much about your supply or your efficiency because you have a lot of supply and the consequences of low efficiency aren't that bad. So, yeah, this is the dream, isn't it? How suspicious? What's suspicious? Show me too. Oh, you gave me a fright. How are you able to walk around without making any noise?
You were just
assistant to the externally contracted assistant researcher. Oh, Paimon.
You were just too focused. Speaking of it, you followed us all the way here. Have you managed to find anything?
Not really. Since Mr. Knocker said all that, I don't really want to get in trouble. In the end, all I could take pictures of were these dilapidated houses, broken rocks, and a motionless machine. Hey, that's still probably more material than any other journalist has gotten so far. I mean, who else has been up here? I bet I'd be able to take photos of a big scoop if I could fly in the air just like you can, Paimon. Why be a reporter if you can fly? I was born to do this. It's the reason I exist. I, too, am very sure of that, Miss Crony. Oh, what? You are also able to walk without making any noise? Is this a new technology the Institute's developed? Unfortunately, we don't teach walking courses. I've already completed all the preparations in any case. Please take Miss Coney back to the Institute. Once the experimental fuel generator is activated, it will rapidly change the gravity in the surrounding area. I've been through professional training, and I know what to do in this situation. For your safety, it would be best if you stay away from here. Well, I mean, we've had a few brawls with the experimental fuel generator on the ground, too, so I suppose we would be okay. I even finished the achievement where it was like, dodge all of the blasts, do like 11 plunging attacks, you know. But yes, I do believe we should get Miss Coney to safety. How are you planning to get down? You don't need to worry about me. Mr. Edwin taught me how to use the generator personally. No one in the Institute can control this big guy as freely as I can, not even Raimondo.
Guess we'll have to leave it to a professional then. Be careful.
Go now. We'll meet again on the surface. Oh, but I hope that this place isn't coming down, actually. Cause I really like. Hang on, just in case this is the last we see of, you know, these big water blocks. Let's just enjoy it. Like I said, a lot of these world quests, the scenery changes a lot, but I really hope they don't get rid of all of these, because I like hopping through them. I like going through. I mean, it's dangerous, though. But, you know, since it's a video game, this is where you get to experience danger with little consequence, right? Oh, you could fall out the bottom of the block through the water. So dangerous. But it's okay, because it's not real. And just look at this. Let me just see. Wow. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I don't know where the floor is. Thank goodness I did that in time. Hello, it is us. You're back. How's the work coming along? Everything's going swimmingly.
There's still some finishing touches that ought to be left to a professional, so Mr. Knocker is still up there.
I feel like I haven't really contributed that much. Don't say that. You're our safety rope. Without you, dear Teddy, how could we have dared to let Mr. Knocker go up there by himself? It could be said that the trip was a brilliant success. There were other benefits as well. Miss Cronies managed to photograph some thought-provoking images that she would like to ask me about, and a few of those pictures should prove even more interesting for Mr. Knocker. Let's not talk about that for now. Come, let us take a photo together. Monsieur Tricel will also need to present you with a certificate and an honorary title. Ooh, another honorary title. I first read the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius. That seems like it happened a very, very long time ago. But yeah, okay, honorary title.
Oh, and what about Paimon? Paimon will also get a promotion from assistant, right?
Well, seeing as you're Teddy's companion, then I guess you could join in on the photo. As for the title... so there's no honorary title for Paimon then? Honorary titles must remain limited in quantity and stay relatively rare. Otherwise, how would we get sponsors and support through awarding them?
Oh, alright then.
Then allow me to award Paimon the honorary title of Best Companion, the honorary title of Best Travel Guide, a super awesome title. That's right, Paimon. We could not do any of this without you. Best Companion.
Hey, just what kind of nonsense titles are those? We're already best buddies. Paimon doesn't need a title for that. You better make Teddy's really awesome.
Of course. This honorary title is of the highest standing. Besides, haven't you already been promoted to assistant to the honorary senior researcher? Come on, let's get that photo taken.
An assistant's still an assistant, no matter how many words you put after it.
All right, let's take the photo. This is an occasion to remember. Monsieur Tricel, you're... Oh, looks like he's having a nice conversation with us, Miss Crony. Hence, this operation is a stepping stone for rebuilding the Institute. We can do it, and it is our duty to do so, as it always has been. Blah, 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 talking for another 2 hours. As the former site of the Institute, we will keep it preserved forever and rebuild it as the Fontaine Research Institute Safety Education Center. Oh, I see. Oh, I think I've had just about enough. No, safety is good. You clearly didn't have enough of that before, so... So this is good. Whatever happened to Edwin Eastinghouse? Did he die in the incident, or is he still around somewhere? We just haven't seen him. I'm not sure that's been addressed anywhere, or if that's in any of the books or any of the things that we've, like, texts that we've encountered along the way. But what happened to him? I'm sure that everyone has benefited from your speech, Monsieur Tressel, but now's the time to take a photo together with Teddy, wouldn't you say? Yes, of course. We must take a photo and mark this occasion with our dear honorary senior researcher of the Fontaine Research Institute. What an honorary title. We haven't even done any research yet. I guess that's why we're an honorary. You know, it's an honorary title. Please give us a second, Miss Crony. This shouldn't take too long. We'll have her take the picture. Oh, don't worry. It's none of the things you said just now weren't all cliches anyway. Weren't you guys going to take a photo together? I just so happen to have a camera with me. Please go and stand in position. I traveled a long way to get here, so please at least make it worth the trip, okay? Hey, I think it's already been worth the trip. Like I said, you already have... Oh. What's going on there? Well, I'm glad you got that on camera. I'm glad you got that on camera, but what is that? Was that an explosion just now? What else could it have been? Well, definitely the field generator. We're just taking a photo together. Is such a ceremonious greeting necessary? Ether, you get funnier every time. I don't believe that was an explosion. All things considered, it was probably controllable.
That was an explosion! Paimon was nearly blown away just now. If not, what else could it have been? Mr. Choiseul, could you please explain this to us? Was this something that you had anticipated?
I must say, you ask a very good question. A very excellent one, as many people are wondering the same thing. The color of these bodies of water, could it be that the condenser components are already in? Wait, Naka hasn't come down yet. You're right, he hasn't returned. Let's not delay, we need to go now.
Wait, I want to go too! The truth behind the explosion.
Please do not act rashly, Mr. Porter. If you dip one of your toes into that water, you'll be saying goodbye to this world within a minute.
Don't scare me.
Lady, we're talking about real danger here. But at the same time, I've already said this is not going to stop her. So we may as well, nothing's going to stop her. We may as well help her not die. But at the same time, don't scare me. You need to take this a little more seriously than that, I think. Would you please just stay here? If only we're that simple. According to your previous experience, the energy flow that remains in these bodies of water shouldn't affect you too much. Please, oh no. Please get to the ruins as quickly as you can. I'll find my own way up there and I'll meet you there. Your own way? I have my ways. After the explosion, I was among one of the first up there to conduct disaster investigation and evaluation. Things at that time were much more complicated than they are now. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get moving. Hopefully, Mr. Knocker won't meet the same fate that Edwin did. Oh, Edwin didn't survive then. What the heck? What? Oh my gosh, some of them are purple. Are they like Osea purple or like electro purple? That's awesome. Wow. Okay, we're gonna go up there, the teleport waypoint way. Oh dear. Everything is magenta now. How beautiful. Take a slightly lower one. There we go. What? This is so cool. I'm sorry. I know that this is really dangerous stuff up here. Okay, you seem pretty chill still. In fact, so chill. I will take another photo. Of you just relaxing and having a good day. Oh, you can still see Sumer from here. Let's see. Wow. Wow. This is so awesome. The sky is purple, the world is ending. This is so cool, right? Let's see. Yeah, let's go this way. You could just see all the different layers.
Huh? Why are there so many mecha here? We dismantled so many of them last time, did we?
It seems that the explosion just now caused the Archeum to release another wave of energy. Please dismantle them, and quickly. Well, how did you get up here as quickly as we did? We literally teleported.
The wind rises.
I would have thought that they would show that it was a little bit delayed making it up here. Examine the large, out-of-control Archeum. It looks like the Archeum overloaded, and that the cooling mechanism is also damaged. Knacker, what have you done exactly? No, did Knacker betray us? This was my fault. I didn't think the Knacker would be still be unsatisfied despite all the benefits I gave him.
Huh? Benefits? Wait a second.
Why are you looking at me like that? Did he say anything to you? You tell Raimundo of your encounters with Knacker and his attitudes towards various matters. Sweet talk. Did he tell you guys then that it was people like him, Edwin's successors, who are reaping the benefits of this mess by stealing all kinds of information and selling it for a fortune? Oh, so he's the guy that Crony was talking about, like, that they haven't caught these criminal culprits who are, like, selling information. I knew it. I knew this time the two old guys weren't going to betray us. It had to be someone else. I was thinking Knacker, but I was like, I don't know. I just hope it's not the guys who I think would be the stereotypical ones to betray us in all of these quests, and sometimes do.
You guys are telling completely different stories. Paimon doesn't know how to believe anymore. If only you were here, then we could find out the truth. Paimon doesn't see him at all, though.
I know, Paimon. Isn't that suspicious of him?
If he's not here, where could he have gone?
Maybe he successfully escaped. Maybe he's already... He escaped. That's why he didn't want us to be here, and we left, so he could be alone here tampering with stuff. I don't think he was killed at the very least. I'll explain why later. For now, though, we must stabilize this Archeum as quickly as we can. The suppression system shut down, and the ore is presently in an excited state. This is what caused the explosion.
What caused the explosion? But this big rock doesn't look blown up at all.
I don't understand. Alright, I agree that this is indeed quite difficult to understand. I'll explain it in simpler terms for you. I guess I have no choice now. The experimental field generator that Edwin created is extremely powerful and can manipulate gravity. This I believe you know already. After the explosion, all the Archeum in the Institute shattered into fragments. Among these fragments, many of them could have turned into an excited state and triggered an explosion at any time. With the use of gravity fields, they were all restrained and gathered beneath our feet. That explosion just before was a small one created by a small part of Archeum in the ruined cells affected by the energy flow. I guess you could call it a minor rehearsal of a third great explosion.
Uh-huh. Then this ruin is,
super huge, ready to explode piece of Archeum. Oh my gosh, we are standing on a bomb, basically. That's not good. We don't want that.
So you guys did all this, not because you wanted to retrieve innocence, but you were scared that this place would explode again?
That's just one of the objectives of this operation. But right now, our priority is to retrieve the condensing components that fell into the water and restart the suppression device. There is also Archeum inside those components, and the intense energy flow has likely caused unpredictable changes to the water bodies. Forgive me, but I'm really not capable of retrieving them and installing them back on the inhibitor. Only you are capable of doing this. Please, for the court of Fontaine, and... since it's urgent, I'll just get the job done first.
But once this is all over, you'd better explain everything clearly.
If all goes well, I'll tell you everything I know. Disaster time. Alright, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Crystal fly. The crystal flies are still here. So you want us to go to all the purple blocks, it appears. The blue ones are still fine. The water is normal. These are like affected by the energy flow or something, right? Something like that. This seeming quite disastrous.
Huh? Why can't we get into this body of water? Looks like there's no other choice. Let's look around.
Well, it has to do with these bubbles here. And I need a bow character. Just like Yoimiya! This is a festival indeed. It is not really, but... Let's see... Okay. Bubble! I missed. It's much harder to hit those barrels than it is to hit the bubbles. Okay. Uh-oh. Is it the floor gonna disappear? It might disappear. It is not disappearing! That is great! I am glad to see it. Okay. Enter. Whee! Where are you taking us? Huh? Where are we going? Enter. Whee! Alright, we're in. Gameplay tutorial. What is this? A dangerous liquid that has been modified somehow by the energy flowing from the condensation components. If you remain within such a liquid for too long, you will accumulate turbulent energy flow. If you hit the accumulation limit, all your characters will drown. All of them? We don't want that. We gotta work quickly then. So I guess we're resistant to it, but we are not fully immune. I don't see anything here though, and it's accumulating fast. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm near the edge. I don't want to fall out. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I got it. Yay! The water is pure and clean again. That's right. That is what we love to see. Now I think I'm a little bit too far down in order to land in there. So let's try landing in here. I think you see on the map too. You can see that they look that the purple ones, they look kind of poison. Uh oh, no, Farina. Okay, that's not gonna be good enough. Back to the top of the ruins we go. Let's see. What do the bubbles have to do with purifying the water? I mean, allowing us to get through the poisoned water. Mysterious, is it not? Let's see. In we go. Well, Farina can already stand on water anyway, so... Let's see... Where is this taking me, though? Oh, perfect. I was like, usually that one doesn't take us into there, right? Well, thankfully I see the object that we seek right here. Oh, unfortunately, it can never be that simple, can it? No, I'm completely boxed in, as a matter of fact. Jellyfish! Jellyfish friend, you must help us. Okay, let's see. This is a maze. It's a maze. No, we gotta go and stay down. Okay. Oh! We have to do it this way. Yeah? No? Doesn't work? Okay. Now does this work? Ah!
Burned too brightly.
Thank you so much, game. We love to do this, don't we? Let's see, not there. No, we gotta figure this out. So, don't go back in, don't go in the back in that thing. gotta go around. Or not go around the outside once it goes back inside. Because that appears to be a problem. Oh, okay, thankfully that worked.
Too slow. Quit following me.
Okay. Now can we go in here? Still blocked in. Uh oh. Just gotta be careful that we don't, you know, fall out the side. And also there's a... Where's my jellyfish power? Jellyfish friend. Let me get this rock down here. Okay, Osea power. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Okay, I see where the challenge lies now. Oh, I should use this. I can't use it. I wish you could use it in midair, because sometimes I remember after I've left the ground. Which is when it's helpful. Okay, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay, so we're here. We're put tantalizingly close to the thingy. But you want us to go out here and pop this bubble. We follow this path around, pop the next bubble. But the next bubble is obscured. And you need to get it before it pops, right? Okay, hang on. So last time the ground disappeared beneath us, so maybe we gotta do it from the outside? From the inside? But we can't hit it from the inside. Oh, we just go here. Good, and then that floor disappears, so we don't want that.
The wind rises.
Hang on. No, 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 no. Hang on. Sometimes I forget how to fly. Okay, you want us to go back in here. Are we here yet? Nope. Okay. Over here. Perfect. And then here is where it's boxed in. I understand now. Yay! Very dangerous stuff indeed. Alright. No, no, no. Okay, here we go. How do we get over there now? I mean, probably from teleporting to the top and flying down again, because that is the ultimate way to do anything in this game, but let's see. Is there anything I can use to move around that's in here? Like fly between the blocks? No? Oh, look at all these hydro slimes trying to go in the water. Don't be afraid. You guys are water. Come on. Come on, everyone. Whoops. No, I meant to activate this thing. I actually wonder, can they drown? I don't think they can. They will die of the bloom damage. No, they can't. They just float on water, which is exactly what you would expect them to do. Okay, realistically, we are not. We need to go down from up high again. Yep. Over here. Where is it? Over here. Okay, well, I'm gonna need Raimondo to explain more clearly, but the gist of what I'm getting is all of these are the land is explosive because it's very high concentrations of the energy, and he's gonna need to clear up. I'm confused. Why did they do that? On purpose, I mean? Or by accident? It was by accident, that's by accident. But what was the reasoning behind this? Oh dear.
Everyone hold hands.
How do I get this? How am I supposed to get this bubble? You should have let me use Farina. I could do the thing where she can stand in the water. Can you pop the bubble? No? Yes, we can.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, once again.
Everyone hold hands.
Okay.
The Temple of Wisdom.
We don't need to stand on water. It turns out, which makes a lot of sense.
Fire
Let's see. What is happening? Where are we going? Oh, here. I understand now. I mean, yes, this is some kind of puzzle, but like, I was like, what are we doing? Oh, from the bottom. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, approaching the edge. I can see that. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's in this area. I mean, where exactly? Here it is. See, it's so disorienting trying to figure it out in 3D space. You don't know which is up or down or left or right. All right, last one. Last one. And everything should be saved. Whee, here we go. Then we can set off fireworks and be happy and celebrate in the beautiful natural scenery of Fontaine. Let's see. Here we go. Treasure. This treasure? Did I get treasure here before? Okay. Okay, I'm just letting this whole path appear. I don't need this path. I just need a bow character. I don't think this is what we're supposed to do. But I do that a lot. No, I missed. No, some place over there is getting set on fire with fireworks. Okay. To go all the way around. Then I go like this. Having not risked my life at all. We've done enough of that already. And now we can go whee straight in. Quickly. The treasure. This is mine now. Okay, let's see. Here it is. Goodbye. Talk to Raimondo. We've found them all. Now you gotta tell us what's happening here. Because while I knew somebody was gonna betray us, you need to help me figure out why. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with a wind blade. That Mr. Knacker really knows how to create trouble for others, just like that boss of his, Edwin Eastinghouse. What are you doing here? We really can't catch a break here. Not only did the explosion break off the condensing components of the device, but it also destroyed the self-sustaining system of the inhibitor. I'm about to remove the 2 backup pneumosia cores in the experimental fuel generator and use them to supply energy to the inhibitor.
Luckily, this big fella can't move. Otherwise, it wouldn't even have time to run. Or we wouldn't even have time to run.
Well, it's not moving right now, you mean?
Hey, knock on wood. Don't start saying stuff like that. What if it actually starts moving?
Well, we're gonna fight it then, Paimon. Don't worry, its main source of energy is that big chunk of archeum left behind it. You keep saying it's not gonna move. The more you say it, the less convinced I feel. Although the archeum has transformed into an activated state, the explosion damaged all of its energy supply lines, so it's lost all of its supply energy. Huh? The archeum kinetic core should have been right here. Where did...
Hold on. You said that the pneumosia cores were a backup energy source. And isn't the activation for backup energy sources the complete loss of energy?
Oh my gosh, Paimon, you're so smart! Oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
Whoa, this thing is moving!
And when you scoundrel, what did you do to this thing?
Unsightly insects.
Only you can turn it off now, that's right. Oh, G001. Whoa, I wasn't paying attention. Not to worry, there are only 2 pneumosia cores powering it right now. The gravity's what's changed, yeah. Hang on. No, hit it. Whoops, sorry, I need to try to hit the core. Jump. Okay. Oh, I have to hit it again. Hang on. One again? 3 times? Okay. Guess that makes sense. Come on. There we go.
Committed to memory. Sharing my knowledge.
Now we're talking. You distracted me. I wonder it's gone now. Although there's a good chance he would have been either way. Yoimiya! Here we go.
Yay! This might hurt a little. It stopped.
I knew you could do it. Quick, grab these 2 cores. Let's hook up the power. Just like before, you go connect the energy source and I'll adjust the device. Okay. Whoa. It's working again. The sky is blue. Celestia got a good theater show of things happening over here. Finally, it's stabilized. The archeum has transformed into an inert state. We in the Fontaine Research Institute are safe, for now. But it seems that there are ever more secrets. As for things you'd like to know, I will be happy to answer, but not right now. What I can tell you now, based on my hypothesis, is that Mr. Knocker stole the archeum kinetic core and triggered the small explosion. But before explaining in too much detail, we should return to the Institute and place the proper notation and partitions into this interlude. Or at the very least, we need to stop Miss Journalist from getting more deeply involved. The archeum kinetic core is connected to too many other matters, and we must handle it in complete confidentiality. So, I would like you to cooperate with my work. Cooperate with your work?
You're not saying to play along with your lies, are you? The scarier something is, the more you should share it with others. Then we can all work together to deal with it faster.
I have my doubts about that, you two. Every matter has its own way of being dealt with, and in this instance, we must first call for silence. But I promise that I would never have you steer from your moral standards or demand that you have the same standard of behavior as we do. All I ask is for you to remain quiet. You need not do anything else. You might be wondering why I would have you remain silent while telling you the truth. I'll just come out and say it now. Your coming here is the only good fortune that our institute has had in nearly 100 years. No matter what happens or what the cost is, we must maintain good relations with you. I'm sure Mr. Twistel feels the same way. Is telling the truth also a cost as far as you're concerned? Is transparency something you consider a cost as well? I mean, yeah, they're definitely covering up a massive thing that I'm sure everybody saw from the city, but I'm sure.
Yeah, you're only just telling us the truth now, which you should have done ages ago. Just what sort of cost is that?
Dear Sir Paimon, telling the truth honestly is, in truth, the greatest price one can pay. Let's go back. ask sincerely for your understanding and to provide all the necessary cooperation. Well, at least he's sympathetic to the fact that Ether, this goes against Ether and Paimon's, morals / their Paimon's need to be incredibly chatty about things. I mean, you gotta tell people something at some point. But I get it. He just wants us to stay silent. If there's any lies that need to be made up, we don't have to do it. So we don't have to feel guilty, is what he's saying. The wreck of shattered dreams added to the archive. Wow. Well, looks like it's still here chilling. Okay. I mean, if not saying the truth is a matter of public safety at the moment, then I suppose we can go along with it without losing too much sleep. However, indeed, you can only cover up things for so long before it is revealed in the most explosive manner. I mean, you might want to eventually at some point think about telling the truth in a controlled manner as to mitigate the consequences of the inevitability that if you don't tell the truth, somebody else is going to dig it up and make it even worse. Especially with these kinds of journalists around. You might want to think that they're even more... Miss Crony, everything we do is in the best interest of the people of the court of Fontaine. So what you're saying is that the Fontaine Research Institute predicted the explosion just now? Are you kidding? Do you think I'm a gestionnaire? You can't just hoodwink me that easily. I think Monsieur Tressel has expressed himself clearly enough. The situation is still under control. The status quo at the court of Fontaine will not be adversely affected. Now allow me to make a statement explaining the events that really occurred. That's enough, mister. I don't believe you for a second. You should have seen everything, right? I'm begging you, tell me the truth. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like you that much. Let's cooperate with Raimondo for now. No need to bother Teddy anymore, Miss Crony. Allow me to explain the truth. Don't even think about trying to get away with it, Mr. Raimondo. I saw the Archeum with my own eyes. This explosion must have been caused by it. Did you not repeatedly emphasize before that all the Archeum had been properly processed and disposed of? Just what are you hiding? I haven't hidden anything. There's a lot of spelling errors in this. I haven't hidden anything. The explosion was always a controllable hazard removal directional blast.
Controllable hazard... Wait, hazard removal... What?
Oh, mind that you don't all bite your tongues on that. It basically means to use small controlled blasts to quickly remove Archeum fragments, with the goal of activating the experimental fuel generator as quickly as possible. But I couldn't have imagined that Mr. Knocker would steal the Archeum kinetic core that needed to start the... I think you mean to say, but we couldn't have imagined that Mr. Knocker would steal the Archeum kinetic core needed to start the experimental field generator. Not only that, but he intentionally activated that large chunk of Archeum, using it to draw our attention while he made his escape. It's all true. He's not telling a complete lie. So, is that the ploy you came up with just now? To dump all the blame onto a researcher who could be dead right now for all you know. I think what you really want to hide is that you are completely incapable of dealing with the Archeum. The Archeum is still a major threat to the court of Fontaine. Ridiculous. A person's life isn't something you can throw away to help spread your own lies. I've already told you the truth, Miss Crony. Please listen to a final word of advice. It takes only the slightest bit of effort to fixate on something, but it always takes more brain power to avert your gaze from it. Yes, literally exactly what we were trying to tell you before. Or did you tell us? No, because she was like, don't worry, the truth is right before me. I will never turn away from it. And we all like, I'm sure. Enough. I won't listen to another word you say, nor will I dwell on this. That's rich coming from you, considering we told you to leave a long time ago. Your words, deeds, and all the facts concealed by the Institute will be reported on the next issue of the Steambird. Good day, gentlemen. I don't like her. She's a lot meaner than Charlotte. I mean, we told her almost entirely the truth. And In fact, that almost did sound like the truth, because he's basically saying keep the archeum there, dispose of it in small amounts, and then Mr. Knacker messed it all up, which appears to be exactly what happened. So the fact that we told the truth and she doesn't believe it really says something about the kind of news that she's really kind of going for, which is to say that if we don't tell her something that she likes to hear, then she chooses not to believe it, even if it's true, which says a lot. Just saying. Thank goodness that's finally over with. Oh, and thank you too. Oh, I just did what I should. Ah, such humility. In this day and age, those who do what they should are already outstanding. You didn't make any assumptions about whether something is good or bad based on your subjective thoughts. Instead, you think carefully about what you do and say for the sake of the greater good. Truly an excellent person.
But is this really okay? Paimon still thinks we should tell everyone the truth.
I mean, we kind of just told them the truth. It wasn't completely... There's no need to bear such a heavy burden, dear Teddy. You only cooperated after listening to my repeated entreaties. I am a senior technician of the Fontaine Research Institute, and the responsibility for this matter falls squarely on me and me alone. But Miss Crony said, oh, don't listen to what she said. She's already obtained the truth she wants for herself. I wish her well. I know. Essentially, she doesn't like the truth. Or even, it's true that they are obscuring facts. However, she was kind of incredibly confrontational about it. So much for professionalism there, because I think that she kind of crossed the line. As for us, we still have much to be concerned about. For example, the whereabouts of Mr. Knacker and the Archeum Kinetic core. But shouldn't we give you a few awards as well, Monsieur Tressel? Right. Let's take another group photo together. The one we took before had an unseemly explosion in the background. This new photo must be decent enough to be worthy of your status as our honorary senior researcher. Tressel and Raimondo stand in the same position as before, and an institute researcher takes a photo for everyone. Perfect. Look at us. A decent bunch of decent people. The scene just isn't explosive enough. The ostentatious award ceremony has finally ended.
Hey, stop it! No more exploding! Any more explosions and Paimon will have nightmares.
The certificate and trophy are for you. I'll post a copy on the Institute bulletin board later. I hope our researchers will follow your example. On this path, we must strive to take the lead, overcome all obstacles, and put 120% in of our... I actually have more questions for you. Of course, I know what you wanted to ask. Even though your questions are all, extremely complicated, I'm willing to answer them. In any case, I believe we'll have more opportunities to work together in the future, honorary senior researcher. Oh, we did it! We have solved the mystery, and the Institute is still up in the air for me to look at, albeit safely stabilized. Very good. I thought the plan was to, lower it to the ground safely, but from my personal perspective, I'm glad that it stays up there, albeit safely. Again, is there something I can help you with? Oh dear, lots of questions. Why do you think Knacker is still alive? Considering the interests of the Institute and my personal point of view, I do in fact hope that both he and the Archeum Kinetic Core were obliterated in that explosion. That would mean that the last traces of Edwin Eastinghouse's influence here would be gone for good. But like I said earlier, that explosion was actually a small-scale Archeum fragment resonance. Moreover, most of the Archeum fragments in the explosion radius were ore waste that have been fully depleted of energy. Logically speaking, even if a large Archeum chunk had gone out of control, causing the ore waste to resonate, such a violent explosion should not have occurred. The only possibility is that someone specially collected Archeum that has not been depleted from other areas and piled them here. Then they overloaded that large Archeum chunk on purpose to create an Archeum resonance, so as to trigger an explosion to cover up certain traces that would have existed otherwise. Knacker has always conducted research with Edwin and has a good understanding of the nature of Archeum. It wouldn't take him much effort to do something like this. Still, that's just my preliminary conjecture. As for what happens next, we'll need to wait for the Research Institute to conduct a more detailed investigation. Why did he steal the core? This Archeum Kinetic Core is the most cutting-edge technology created by the Fontaine Research Institute to date. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sell it or use it in the development of another project. But considering his level of academic expertise, I would rather he sell this Archeum Kinetic Core for a good price. Yeah, less liability or danger. Is something I can help you with about the Archeum Kinetic Core. Before we discuss this further, I believe Knacker or Miss Crony must have already mentioned something to you already. They must have told you that my research projects and those of Edwin Eastinghouse have some overlap, but this is not entirely accurate. In fact, this Archeum Kinetic Core is the fruit of my joint research with him. In theory, if we constantly inject this kinetic core with enough energy, it can easily allow the experimental field generator to run at full power. After creating this core, we both realized a problem. We could barely find any way to keep injecting it with enough energy to keep at maximum power. Edwin and I have tried powering it with a mixture of pneumosia and archeum energy, or by connecting large numbers of archeum ores in series to create a superpowered group. But neither worked. That was the situation until we found that giant archeum. Although it was always in an inert state, Edwin and I were certain that this ore had unprecedented purity. We believed that with the right treatment, this ore could definitely output the large amount of energy we needed. But then Edwin and I had a disagreement. I offered up a more conservative proposal, but he wanted to solve the problem rather more quickly. You should know everything else that happened after that. Yeah, I assume that caused the explosion. Rushing into things in science, we would never. About Edwin. He was a genius in the field of scientific research. It's no exaggeration to say that his talent was only second to our first director, Alain Guillotine. At the same time, he was an inhuman monster. Nothing mattered to him other than his scientific research. Edwin was willing to do anything or pay any price to advance his research. I see another mad scientist in this game who will do completely unethical and terrible things. He once told me that research results were the only remuneration he needed. He said, "I don't need any remuneration. To me, research itself is the best reward." However, even though Edwin was a pure researcher, the people under him were all experts, in furthering their own interests, that is. Some secretly sold research assets, some plagiarized research results, and some used his name to scam others. They ruined the Fontaine Research Institute's reputation little by little. Like I said before, as long as his research could advance, Edwin wouldn't do anything about this. In this way, they used Edwin's name to take all of the Institute's resources for themselves. The Institute could only continue to conduct detailed reviews on the personnel and funding of Edwin's project team. Mr. Choisel led many of these review operations personally. However, in the mouths of such people, these actions were constructed as bureaucratic arrogance and the distrust of researchers. More and more conflicts took place between us, and no one knew how to resolve them. But now, those conflicts no longer exist. Sounds like I am really glad that we have put that chapter of your Institute's history to rest. About the current situation. Your question is not a technical one, but rather an administrative one. I think you should ask Mr. I guess it's all Monsieur Choisel about this instead. Okay. And finally, why do you think Knacker stole the core? Do you still remember me flipping through the pages Miss Crony took in the ruin? There's one of Knacker working in front of the suppression device. It's quite blurry, but I'm quite certain that his actions are definitely not part of any operational procedure.
That doesn't really mean anything, though. Maybe a thief came flying across from the nearby mountain and stole the core?
That's most definitely impossible. The energy flow of the Archeum here is the best anti-theft measure there is. No ordinary person can withstand it. Besides, the timing of the experimental field generator's activation is simply too perfect. It cannot be a mere coincidence. Yeah, I agree. I have a preliminary conjecture. Knacker, or should I say the one who stole the core, likely removed the Archeum kinetic core early on, activating the backup energy source. However, pneumosia cores are relatively inefficient energy sources, and they have to keep up a continuous output of energy to reach the activation threshold of this contraption here. Hence, this person intentionally activated that large Archeum chunk, creating a modest but rather noticeable explosion. This way, when the Institute sent someone to investigate, they would be certain to fix the Archeum inhibitor first, and by the time they realized that they'd... Okay, that's like the fourth spelling error we've seen so far today. They'd have to go to the experimental field generator to retrieve the backup energy supply. The generator would have already finished charging. From a technical perspective, such a modus operandi is highly improbable, and those within the Institute capable of doing this would only be Edwin, Mr. Knacker, and myself. I doubt Edwin had the opportunity to do anything to that effect, which leaves two remaining suspects, myself and Mr. Knacker. Oh, maybe this is all you're doing then.
Yeah, you said the knocker lied, but you've also been lying all along. Maybe this is all just part of your plan, and you tricked us into escorting you here so you could grab whatever it is you wanted.
Your accusation is not entirely baseless. After this, I will also apply for and submit myself to the Institute's credibility review. As far as I'm concerned, though, Mr. Knocker is the one more likely to have committed this act. If it really was his doing, then he should be the one with the most to gain from it. Even if I am listed alongside him as a suspect, his chances of being convicted are certainly greater than mine. It's okay. I don't think it was you. I mean, you do have a kind of an alibi, but even if it didn't work out, it's definitely more plausible it's the other guy. Hello, sir. But isn't our honorary senior researcher. Welcome. Can I help you with anything? Or have you come to help me with something instead? Sure. About the Institute's current state. Everything is good. It's better than ever. Now that egomaniac Edwin is gone, that gang of thieves under him no longer exists either. I mean, that's a relief, because, sometimes in these cases with these evil organizations, I mean, the leader is gone, but the organization still exists, and it rises up even stronger than ever. So I'm kind of glad to hear that that's not the case in this situation, that everyone's kind of dispersed. Or they all died. Did they all die? Okay, I feel a little bit bad if they all died, but they kind of were doing evil stuff. But they probably didn't deserve to die. But it was their own doing, so I guess there was nothing we could do to stop it. More importantly, the Institute has a chance to be reborn. We can take off the shackles and burdens of the past to focus wholeheartedly on building our foundations once again. That is, to work hard for the well-being of all the people of the Court of Fontaine. I'm currently gathering some people and preparing a code of conduct for our organization. It will include principles on the use of funds, research asset management methods, and ethical standards that should be observed in scientific research and work. All research-related behavior at our institute will have relevant rules and provisions. What a wonderful future. It's simply the best. It sounds great. And this is actually lovely to hear. It sounds like this organization was filled with corruption before, but finally being reborn, just like the Sumeru Academia. The Fontaine Research Institute is ridding itself of all these deeply ingrained issues. Maybe you needed this explosion to give you the clean slate that you clearly needed. You had one more thing to say to me. What was it? Do you and Raimondo run things together? No, to be precise, we deal with affairs related to different areas. Raimondo's responsible for getting scientific work and research back on track, and I'm responsible for everything apart from that. For example, I'm responsible for arranging funds related to manpower, quarterly budget allocations, reaccommodating visitors, and getting rid of those journalists together with Raimondo. But our main goal remains the same, to rebuild the Fontaine Research Institute and work hard for the well-being of all the people of the Court of Fontaine. Yeah, so you kind of work on the science-y stuff, and you kind of work on the business administrative stuff. Oh, which is literally in your title, Senior Technician, Administrative Officer. Okay. Glad that was cleared up. Okay, I can breathe now. That was a lot. Let's go over here, because we get a nice view of the ruins. So yeah. Sounds like Knocker and other people who were like him, who were working with Edwin Eastinghouse, were not good people. Sounds like the explosion was kind of an act of arrogance almost, but at the same time, most of the people involved with that are now gone, which means that this is now a cleansing, a rebirth of this wonderful scientific organization and all of its inventions. I guess that Knocker was the bad guy, and he was the one saying that the robots shouldn't look like humans. But I still think that is somewhat, look, it's only applicable to certain things, but I agree that, indeed, more Roombas. Connie is a tabloid journalist, so I don't think most of the mainstream viewers will take what she says too seriously if it's too negative and too slanderous, right? I mean, obviously there's some people who love that stuff. However, considering this is a scientific organization, I think that everything will be under control, especially with, Neuvillette and everyone else back in the Court of Fontaine running things. I'm sure too much slander will not be spread. Knacker is gone. I wonder if there's gonna be a follow-up world quest where we figure out where he went with the core. I mean, sometimes you just never figure out what happens to the bad guys, right? There's some world quests where like there's this big bad guy, this big bad organization or person, you know. They just kind of disappear. We never hear from them again. But hopefully there's a follow-up telling us what happened. I wish good luck to Raimondo and Tressel in rebuilding the new Fontaine Research Institute. I think it's going to be a lovely organization now that it's under better management. And I knew it. I said it right away that I knew the two of them were not going to be the bad guys because it's like... So, like, I didn't, like, it... I had that feeling like, oh, you know, they could be. But I just don't get that vibe from them. So I'm glad I was proven right this time. And looks like we had another successful journey through the Fontaine Research Institute, going to check out all of the science and engineering STEM experiments that have gone on through here. I mean, obviously it's been halted for now. No explanation as to why all of these gravity centers have water in cubes and not spheres. But we're gonna, I mean, once again, if you have unlimited energy, I'm sure that if your experimental field generator is strong enough to make the water hold in any shape it wants, it doesn't have to be a sphere, which would be the most natural and sensical, and honestly the only shape I would think would naturally hold. And if you can put enough energy into the system, which they have abundance of, why not make them all look like cubes? I mean, that would be a good way to show off the strength and the unlimited energy that your machine has. I don't know, it's magic. I have to say it. It's magic that they're all in cubes. There's no way. But yeah, that's it for now. So glad that we did that. Well, I really worked on some of the world quests. We have this one that's down in the Fortress of Meripede. We have this one here, and then we have this one down here that I think is going to be long. And a bunch of other scattered world quests around. But these are fun. I like these. I like exploring.
Such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
Oh yeah, that's right. We should quickly go down to the... I don't think we opened too many treasure chests today though. We should go and give the fountain some more coins. I love that for once we're taking all the coins and tossing them into a fountain. Because I'm sure the other trees and things like that we've given coins to appreciate it, but yeah, just one level. A fountain is what you expect to throw coins into. Ooh, intertwined fates. A very precious commodity indeed. And let's head back here. I don't know if I have any hydroculus. I don't think so. Did we get any today? I don't recall. That's not the right button. I don't think so. Nope. We are just safely at level 7. All right. That's going to be it from me. Thank you all for watching me go through the Fontaine Research Institute again with a ton of fun. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye, everyone.